Luis rightfully ought to be king.
On to shite, this has.
All right then.
Luis is the only one left. Smash it all to bits.
Let's move.
Everyone, I'm glad you made it back in one piece. Since you left, Luisa's following has only grown.
Have you changed? You're still the same person, aren't you?
'Tis quite a story, but it deserves explaining. I only hope you can believe us.
Alright, wait a minute. Let me get this straight. I had thought all this business with declaring yourself the prince was a well-meaning bluff. But under the deception, you were, in fact, the actual prince. Is that right? Still, I mean, how do you get the whole country to believe your story? Is that even possible?
Frankly, I doubt it. We've just seen firsthand how far we'll get trying to talk the people down.
Then what will you do? If this goes on?
But you're still you, yes? You came to help everyone, just like you helped me before, right?
Yes, that's right. It'll all turn out fine.
Good.
I see. So, even if no one believes you, you're still determined to settle the score with Luis head-on?
Even so, the gulf between us is wider than ever. The people have all but named him their champion. With so little time, a guileless appeal to the public may fall on deaf ears.
Hard luck for the honest knight. Not much room left for civil debate now that Luis is openly advocating killing his opposition. Well, that ship sailed when the king's magic faded. Anyway, if there is a key to turning the tide, first place I'd look is the castle in the sky. You saw how violent and volatile the city folk are now, but I don't think it's as simple as fearing Luis. I've been keeping an eye on the royal capital while you were off on your jaunt through the woods. Frankly, the change in public sentiment was too sudden, unnatural. It's as if they've been collectively drained of their sanity, and if I had to guess what's causing it...
You're implying it's Luis's doing? All the eeriness in the sky. Is that because...
Don't know, but the change in the citizens is certainly odd. If something really is forcing it, that means we might still have a chance to fix it.
On the other hand, it may well be bait for a trap.
Trap or not, we have no other choice.
Then it's settled. Head to the royal palace and put a stop to whatever Luis is cooking up. With that Skyrunner, you're the only ones who can. And we'll fight in the ways we can too. We'll make sure the whole kingdom hears that the real prince is back after all the strife he's been through.
Indeed. If you can make things better, you might just inspire everyone to remember their own hopes and dreams. Maria's been terribly patient, waiting for you and believing in you. It'd be nice to see her smile again.
Right.
I'll always believe in you. We'll all do our best, so you can be a good king.
Indeed. If we win, I suppose you really will be king.
We're counting on you, O king.
'Tis too late today for a grand charge, I fear. Let us take a night's rest, and on the morrow, we make for the castle.
Oh, it's Mister.
Oh, hell.
You...
Your Highness.
Honestly.
Come on.
Good night.
The day of the hero draws near, which shall see the crowning of a new king. 31 days remain.
To all the people who dwell in this land,
This voice?
soon naught but 1 month will remain. On the dawn of the day of the hero, the one who has inspired the greatest faith of the people shalt inherit the kingdom. I bid thee forget not these words.
Wasn't expecting to wake up to such a spectacle. But I suppose that confirms it. This is where it ends.
Luis has already fortified himself behind the palace walls. Good thing we've got a Skyrunner, or it'd already be over for us.
Or perhaps it is us he has been waiting for all this time.
However disturbing the world looks now, 'tis only a prelude to the deadland Luis strives for.
Sky looks proper hellish already. And with all the humans out there, it's no wonder everyone's losing their grip.
well, he wanted a fair world where strength decides everything. Funny how that's indistinguishable from absolute chaos.
But it's Luis who has the most support right now. And that wasn't born of deception. He broke the nation's order, and everyone knows it.
Sure enough. That's what got Ardell and I dreaming to begin with. Figured a world where the poor and weak get trampled on was a world worth breaking. Come to think of it, what do we all stand for, really?
Maybe...
hope.
A little broad, don't you think? I don't really know what everyone's talking about, but everyone who's seen you and your friends say you're amazing. You make them really, really happy. Because, you know, you've got all the tribes in your team. Everyone's different, but you keep working together and doing great. You're so cool.
A fair point. You're quite right, Maria. 'tis a hard thing to word, so forgive my fumbling. But perhaps 'tis a matter of standing for something Luis does not believe exists. We must prove that it does.
If you keep on believing in what you want, and you keep on working hard for it, it will come true.
That's right, love. I can think of plenty of people who would be much happier if they took a page from your book.
I see now. This is surely the essence of true magic.
Best of luck, Your Highness. After all those speeches about taking the throne, it'll be awfully irresponsible to go dying on us now.
Right, thank you. Well, we'd best keep an eye on the calendar. The King's deadline was the dawn of the Day of the Hero, so we've got until the day before. And that won't be the end of things, either. Even if people come to their senses, it would amount to nothing if Luis sits upon the throne. Personally, I think we should prioritize our main objective here. I'm sure we'd get it done, but we have to make sure we have at least one day to spare before the Day of the Hero.
We've got a few days left, so it's up to you how we spend them. When we set off, let's do it with no regrets. So Luis is hiding in the floating royal palace here. We have to stop him. I won't accept King Luis. That's...
Let's put an end to this.
So?
Smash it all to bits!
Yeah.
You? However... Aye, yes. The truth is... Gastro's been acting as a proxy since the giant sandworms made the governorship one big open question. Everyone's gathered here today to learn what's what, and probably to sentence me to exile.
Are you just going to accept that man being governor?
The mood in the town's been better recently. Much better than during my time.
I asked you all to gather here so I could speak about Martira's governance. But while Barden was recuperating, I was glad to act as his proxy. However, henceforth, I would like Barden to resume his duties as governor.
What's this?
This town's autonomy was initiated by your sheer pluck. At the time, I cooperated only so I could use you for my own ends. But I had a revelation in those moments as the giant sandworm approached. I saw that I cannot even protect myself, much less the people. When you returned here exhausted and in tatters, I regretted everything from the bottom of my heart. My actions are unpardonable.
Sir Gastro. But if I go back to governing, it's...
Have some faith in yourself, Barden.
All right. If you say so.
I'm just not sure where to start. Except to begin with an apology. My excessive measures frightened you all, and I implemented them because of my own insecurity. I was anxious about whether or not I could keep you safe, so I turned to surveillance and barriers. No more. We'll keep some of our armed forces, but what I really need for security is to have faith in you all. That's why I am not fit to govern.
Things will be different now.
He's right. We've changed. From now on, we won't push all the power and responsibility onto just one person. Barton, listen! I followed your example and built a defensive barrier myself.
I did too. And I had an idea. We could turn uninhabited houses into shelters.
Things didn't go well before, that's true. But you're not the only one at fault, Barabin. This is just as much our town as yours.
Oh, laddies and lassies.
You see? After 2 disasters, everyone has a more mature view of things. You're free to decline. But is that really what you want to do?
Well, now I must apologize. If it truly is what everyone wants, I'll be the governor of Martira again. This time, I won't do anything to scare the populace. We'll have faith in each other, and the town's unity will be known far and wide. And for our first step, I have the perfect suggestion. Step forward, young man. The reason I stand here now is thanks to this fella. He is the hero who saved this town. The one most worthy of the crown. I want us to support him as the future king.
Yes!
Bargain and a hero together!
Come to think of it, I never told you the truth behind that bit of arson. It was this little poor wee un who started it. He didn't mean to, but he touched an igniter some fool had left behind. I only know this because just the other day he came to me begging for forgiveness, all in tears. If I'd known from the start, I would have just thought it a lone accident. Instead, I acted like invaders had infiltrated us. Got my people all terrified.
It's already in the past.
You say that, but I can't forget it. Ever. Henceforth, I'll be changing my ways. Let's focus on the future now. This region, in fact the whole country, depends on it. Mind if I ask you just one more time? If you think I'm fit to govern?
There's no one more qualified for the job than you, Barton.
And you truly believe that? Then I must devote myself to the work even more, so as not to disappoint the future king. Thank you greatly for everything you've done. This only happened because I had your support. Even when I made mistakes, you stuck by my side. I'll return the favor one day. I swear it.
The Honorable Guardsman, Barton, keeper and heritor of the Commander's virtues. Your tempered bond has become a fire-forged trust. Thus, a new pinnacle of heroism awakens within thee. By the grace of his newfound powers, work to give truth to our hopes and fulfill thy destiny.
You're the one who brought light to this town, to this country. today really is such a bonny day. I'm blessed with the greatest of friends. The townspeople love me, despite all my flaws. And everyone is so... Thank you again. I'm just so happy.
Allow me to introduce myself once again. My name is Detonado. I'd like to thank you for your assistance.
What assistance?
Right then, where shall I begin? The execution was proposed by Alonso himself. He agreed to bear the weight of my crimes and die with them. That is, under one condition. He had me declare my support for your candidacy by naming you as the key figure who put an end to the people's suffering. And in doing so, Alonso would accomplish his goal, to bring you great renown.
He didn't need to die for something like that.
Perhaps it was meant to be a form of atonement. By giving you recognition and building your reputation, he could pave you a path to the crown. He truly believed that you could change the world. Alonso entrusted me with this letter, or rather, with his last words.
I wager you must be furious with me. I'm sorry I didn't let you in on the plan. I knew you would be against it. Believe it or not, I considered myself a just person. My cons were always in the service of a greater good. I convinced myself that it was all for my hometown, for my mother. But that pretense crumbled away, along with her life. I realized everything I'd done was out of my own selfish desires. Such a man ought to die. So I found a way to make a worthy end of it. Come to think of it, death, too, is perhaps its own selfish escape. When you stopped me, I could finally confront that about myself. The truth of the matter is, I like lying. I like tricking people. Perhaps I never needed to be a good person. On the day of my execution, you'll be lauded as a hero, and everyone in attendance will be none the wiser about my deception. Yes, before long you'll ascend to the throne, and the world will become a slightly better place. All thanks to my lies. I've done far too much wrong in my life. But in my final moments, I will become the kind of person I've always aspired to be. I owe it all to you. Even though I know this wasn't the conclusion you wished for, you have my gratitude.
The devious schemer, Alonso, keeper and heritor of the Faker's virtues. Your tempered bond has become a fire-forged trust. Thus, a new pinnacle of heroism awakens within thee. By the grace of his newfound powers, work to give truth to our hopes and fulfill thy destiny.
Remember your promise.
become the king.
Are you all right?
No. I'm distressed.
I'm sure you must be. But Alonso believed you could bring about a better future. You there! Bring him what we've discussed. This is Alonso's fortune. Though half of it was pinched from my coffers. Still, the fact that he managed to steal all this is quite impressive.
What are you planning to do with it?
Rest assured, I won't be taking it with me. Not after all that's happened. Alonso intended to give this money to his village, but he was terribly distraught when they wouldn't accept it. However, if you, the hero, were to give them the money, that'd be a different matter. Might you donate his fortune in your name?
If that is my friend's wish, then I will.
Thank you. Please grant this wish of his. I'll make arrangements for a coachman to transport this to the village. Until then, his property shall be in my care. Come speak with me once you've arrived. I ask this of you in his stead.
This one's important.